It's been just about 2 years since I got my 335i, and I put about 20,000 miles on it since tuning it with MHD. Today I'm going to tell you guys what my experience has been like. I want to let you guys know that I have ran this car on different versions of MHD. I've used versions 9 and 10, and I have ran the Stage 1, Stage 2, and I'm currently running on the Stage 2 Plus tune, which that is the tune that I've had on for a majority of the life of owning this car. Fuck it. To give some more background, I got the car with 64,000 miles on it, and it has now just over 82,000. So it's pretty much been tuned ever since I got the car. I ended up getting MHD and going to Stage 1 pretty much within the first month of owning the car because I realized that I had an aftermarket charge pipe, and that's when it all began. Now, something I really want to point out to you guys that are looking to get a 335i, or you already have one and you want to tune it, I know everyone's going to say that you don't need the 7.5-inch intercooler unless you're a big turbo or you're upgraded twins, this or that. Heed my warning, just skip the 5-inch intercooler, please. Please, 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 I am begging you. I live in Michigan. It does not get hot here. We'll be looking at your average 80-degree day, and my car will be running all the way up to that 250 mark down there. Not even doing any pulls, maybe just cruising down a gear, going down the road, you know? Maybe I just want to hear the car a little bit. She starts heating up, so yeah, I would skip that 5-inch and go straight for the 7.5-inch intercooler if you plan to modify your 335i. With all that being said, I'd like to talk about the things that I had to replace to get my car to run how it does run, which isn't perfect by any means. Obviously, you have to do the spark plugs and coil packs. That's just no-brainer, but surprisingly, that was not the first thing I had to do. I actually ended up having the accessory belt and pulleys were squeaking. Had to replace that, don't want that to break on me. Also, I have replaced the PCV valve, and if you just saw my recent video, I just did the vacuum lines. I did not do all of them, but I would say it actually did kind of help with the cold starts on this car with the RPMs fluctuating everywhere. I still have some misfire issues on cold starts, but that is probably injector related. What was that? Just those 4 or 5 things are the only things I've had to do to keep this car running on the road, and reliably, that is, for the last 20,000 miles having it tuned. I know a lot of people get these things and they'll get a car with like 130, 140,000 miles, do zero maintenance, throw the bolt-ons on, get the tune on it, stuff's just gonna start breaking, which that's fair. I guess if you want to be able to just mod the car and kind of fix it as things break, definitely opt for a lower mileage car. Otherwise, if you plan to tune it and you get a higher mileage car, definitely replace everything. And I mean nearly everything, which if you stick around to the end, I have the perfect video for you that talks about everything you're gonna have to replace to keep this car perfectly reliable for as long as possible. Now let's get a little dance on. Always love when that happens. Now this car isn't running perfectly, like I said. There still are some things that I have to do to it, one of those being the low pressure fuel pump, which I actually just got in the mail yesterday, so make sure you're subscribed if you don't want to miss that video. Another is once again, the spark plugs and the coil packs. Got those on the way. We're going to replace those out because I'm having some occasional misfires under wide open throttle. Walnut blast and or chemical clean of the valves. I do not know which route I'm going to take yet, but I do have new seals for the intake manifold, so I can start on that whenever I do get the proper either chemicals or walnut blast to do that. Injectors, like I mentioned earlier, I think that's the cause of my cold start misfires, but then again, not a huge issue right now. I could probably get away with just cleaning them temporarily, so I probably also be doing that on the channel. And funny this is happening, it says I'm out of washer fluid. I don't know where my washer fluid goes. I don't really care. I don't really need to use it. That's obviously leaking somewhere. And on top of that, I keep having issues with my brake lights going out, and then my passenger mirror moves when I'm like lock the car and stuff. I reset the memory seat to like my position and everything. That didn't really seem to help. Something I have yet to actually look into, but this relates to MHD, would actually tune on this car, causing me to have mixture control issues, or at least the car believing there are mixture control issues when there aren't. And I've done some reading online, and people are saying that this is an issue with the V10 maps. I might try out the V9 again and see if the codes go away, or even go as far back as the V7 maps. I've always heard people saying that those are the best, but I've never tried them out. I do know once I get the new fuel pump put in, we're gonna be trying out the E50 tune, or E40, whatever the option is on MHD. I don't quite remember. That'll definitely be a lot of fun to try out and see maybe if that can help. For some reason, I don't know if running E85 would help with any of the issues I'm having, but it's a BMW, so who knows. If it wasn't obvious enough by the however many minutes video this turns out to be of driving, obviously I still need an alignment, but I need to try to tighten down the other side of my steering rack, because that I think is loose also. I don't want to get an alignment, because then I'll just need to get another one like fucking right after anyways, so no point in doing that. Guess with all that being said, just really make sure if you're buying a 335i that you're buying a well taken care of car, something that was not beaten on its whole life, preferably something stock. I know I didn't go over really anything other than the engine components of this car and what I maintain to keep the car running. There are other things I've done though, like I had to switch out the battery, or I had to get new tires because I had a faulty driver's side front tire, or just coolant leaking out, so I had to get coolant. I got to top off the coolant every once in a while. Just things like that. There's obviously, that could be with any car. Tuning your car isn't going to be the reason that your fucking tire explodes, you know what I'm saying? So, realistically put, I would say this isn't the worst car in terms of reliability. I could be wrong though. I don't know of many other cars that you can bring from 250, 260 horsepower up to 400, 500 wheel horsepower, and it stays as reliable as it was from the factory. But that's just modding cars and tuning cars for you. You're gonna add horsepower to a car that was designed by engineers to handle X amount of power. You're gonna double it, or maybe you're gonna triple it, and things are just gonna break, and that's just the nature of it. That's gonna be it for now, folks. Got a bunch of cool stuff coming up in the next couple weeks. We got the Dream Cruise coming up. Like I said earlier in this video, I got car parts coming in. It's just going to be a good time over here on the channel, so make sure you're subscribed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Feeling like I ain't a boss, feeling like I ain't a baller. I can't complain. Shawty, she been in a lush. Shawty, she lost in the sauce. She on a plane. I just get brain and get guap. I just get brain and get guap. This life is insane. This life is a dream and I like. This shit I like it a lot. I see through the pain. This life is a dream and I like. This shit I like.